G'day, this is Ray, and today I'm going to give you some pro tips on deadlifting. Now, deadlift is my favorite lift. Why? Well, because it's the lift I can lift the most weight in, so my ego loves it. But I also have a lot of fun with deadlifts, and there's a number of reasons for that. One is I like to do them fast as I possibly can. So have a look at these videos. I'm focusing on speed off the floor, and I'm also focusing on the other key thing, which is keeping my shins as vertical as possible and keeping the bar as close to my shins as possible, which is why you'll see I'm wearing the shin guards, because I'm actually dragging that bar straight up my shins. Now, why do you want to do that? I've seen people and they keep the bar, an inch or so away from their shins. If you want to max what you're lifting, you want that bar as close to your heels as possible. Now, my shins are in the way because the heel's a little bit further back than where the shin is. So I'm a mechanical engineer by background. I understand forces and leverage and stress and moments. And when I'm designing something to take a load in steel or whatever, intention that you can have a really small diameter cable or cord that can take a lot of weight in tension. But as soon as you move that load off the center line, we create a bending moment, and that creates a massive amount of stress. Bending stress is what causes most things to break, not tension. Right? So in your human body, and you're doing a deadlift, you want to max what you can lift, you want to minimize the stress to your body. And to do that, you want to keep that bar as close to, it's basically its center line of force moment, basically. So where is that force going through your body? Where does it go through the floor? The force goes through your heels. So you want that bar as close as possible to your heels. And to do that, you also want your shins as vertical as possible, because as soon as you bend your shins into the bar, you're moving the bar further away. So if you have a close look at the reps that I'm doing, the first couple I'm just pushing my shin into the bar, and you can see it's still not much of an angle, but in the later reps you can see I drop the weight down very close to my shins and keep my shins a little bit more vertical. And in all the reps you'll see that my shins go back to the vertical state very, very quickly, and the bar goes straight up, sliding up the shins and straight up those shin guards. So that's my number one tip for maxing your deadlift, is keep the bar as close to your heels as possible, keep your shins as vertical as possible. You'll also notice in the video that I'm wearing very flat shoes. So those are actually surf shoes. I'll put a link as to where I get them from. They're an older version. I'll put the link to where the new one is. They're only about 1 millimeter thick. So again, you want your feet as close to the floor as possible. If you don't want to deadlift in shoes, just deadlift in socks or bare feet. You can do that in training, but in competition, you've got to wear shoes. So these are the shoes that I wear in competition, or did wear in competition, when I broke national records in deadlifts. And there's 3 reasons for wanting that. One is you get a lot more stability when you just have your heel straight on the ground. If you've got just normal running shoes or normal gym shoes, they've got to be able to give in them. And when you're lifting really heavy weights, that give will tend to give you a bit of rock, and it's not so stable, right? The other reason is you're closer to the ground, and therefore you just don't have to lift the bar so far. And when you're trying to max your deadlift, every little millimeter counts. Third reason is that it actually helps you keep your shins more vertical, because if you've got a bit of a heel there, then your shin is naturally moving forward. So I hope you got something from this video. Go and try those tips, and if you've got any tips yourself, I'd like you to put them in the comments. Let us all know your tips for maxing your deadlift, and if you've got any questions, again, put them in the comments and I will answer every single question. Till next time, this is Ray. Have an awesome day. Cheers.